Okay, clean in place protocol. Uh, so you're going to completely drain and spray out all of uh, your collection vessel and your washing vessel. You're going to put a 25U 5 gallon bag over the outspout of your wash vessel, and if you have a recirculating system, and you're going to run the system on recirculating while you're spraying down the sidewalls and everything, and get that 25U bag to catch any bits of plant material or stuff that may have been caught in your pumps. Then you're going to drain all of that cold water. Then you're going to use double the label rate of Alkanox. Some people in this portion will recommend AlcoJet. They do that because it's low foaming. The deal for me is that you want to make sure that you completely get all of the detergent off. So just because the detergent is low foaming doesn't mean that it's not still on the surfaces. So for me, I actually want the foaming because I can see that I still need to spray or anything like that if there's any detergent still in the system. And I think Alco Nox does a slightly better job than AlcoJet. So, but you do have the option to run AlcoJet there, as I would say that's actually the predominant use in the industry, and I would be in the minority recommending Alco Nox. So you're going to fill up your vessel with preferably around 120-degree water, is what somebody that I respect said. I never measure mine. I just use hot fucking water, right? So you're going to hopefully put enough hot water into your system that you can run that on recirculate, and hopefully you're running a recirculating system. If not, I recommend either way. I recommend the bags. Right, they have been sprayed off of all material, so you want to spray them with cold water, and then you want to take them outside and give them a little shuck in the wind, and try to just knock off any small bits of matter that may still be on there, because just sometimes some things make it through from spraying it on, those little stigmas and everything, little bits of plant material, especially your 220 bag, your bigger catch bags. So then when those have been when you have removed as much particulate and plant matter from the bags as you can, they should be looking very clean at this point. They may have a bunch of oil or heads caked onto them. You're going to place the bags down into that hot Alkanox solution. I like to use the collection vessel for this, not the wash vessel, because the wash vessel may still have some bits of plant particulate in it. If either one of the two would tend to, it would tend to be the wash vessel, especially if it's a machine one. So you're going to have sprayed out that 25U bag that you ran on recirculate before. Make sure that's very clean. You're going to put that again back over top the outspout of your system, of your mixing vessel, going into your collection vessel, and you're going to run that system on recirculate. You're going to want to turn on your wash vessel at this point. If you're running an automated wash vessel, not hand washing, you want to run it at low RPMs. And then you're just going to go over and throw some gloves on. You can use, if you're very sensitive to hot water, they make these aquarium gloves. They're like rubber gloves that the thing goes way up your arm, so it's nice and protective, and you can really get in there and not have to worry about it. So you're just going to agitate the bags back against themselves, especially if they were greased down at all. So like in the bottom where heads tend to get stuck on, if you did have stuck on heads. At this point, the Alkanox should be able to remove the vast majority of that and make it completely clean. If it's really, really bad, you may have to go to ethanol afterwards, but it's best to try to get it off with the Alkanox, as it's ethanol isn't too hard on the bags. ISO is much harder on the bags, but it's the least harsh on the bags. The Alkanox solution. So at that point, you should have the bags nice and clean. Your your Alkanox solution. You're going to scrub down the inside of the wash vessel. You're going to scrub down the inside of the collection vessel. Again, you'll have to turn off the machine while you're doing that part, but you do want to keep that on recirculate while that's happening with that 25U bag over the outspout of the mixing vessel. And if you're not able to recirculate, you don't have a recirculating system, you're just going to do these one at a time. You're going to do hot Alkanox and hot water into your mixing vessel. And if you want, you could use that with the 25U bag and strain it into your collection vessel, and then again scrub that. You just want to be careful of any particulate. Either which way, after you're recirculating, or you go mixing vessel to collection vessel, and you've washed out your bags. If you're not able to recirculate, whatever vessel you clean first, which would be your mixing vessel as a generality, is the one that you're going to clean your bags in. But if you're able to recirculate, I recommend cleaning the bags in the collection vessel. So just because you're pushing the water down to the next thing, so it's going to be a bit more dirty, so you would want to clean it in the first vessel if you're not just mixing all the water through a recirculating system. Okay, so now you have sudsed up clean bags, you have pretty fucking clean equipment, and you have a dirty Alkanox and hot water solution in with all of that junk, right? So you're going to start by taking the bags out first and spraying them down with cold, clean, preferably RO water, but doesn't need to be. That can be a bit excessive. But you're just going to spray the bags down at this point with really clean water. And then you're going to put all of the bags into a 5 or 10 gallon bucket of clean RO water, and you're going to let them soak. So that way any Alkanox solution that may be in the seams or that just hasn't come out of them, you have to be especially careful of the canvas style top bags. I use full mesh because they tend to not hold as much junk. But you're going to soak them in the cold RO water, and then after soaking them for, I usually leave mine overnight, but after soaking them for at least an hour, you can hang them to dry, and then your bags are completely done and they're clean. Once they're dry, you're going to take your bags and you're going to put them into a cloth laundry bag, non-mesh. That's very important because we want to breathe, but we want to keep the dust out, right? So non-mesh cloth laundry bag, that's what you should be keeping your bags in. I like to hang mine. You can also just put them on a rack. I hang the whole laundry bag thing up from a hook on the ceiling, but because some people just let them hang out open, and I don't like that because then dust and fiber is getting on your fucking bag. So I think that laundry bag part is very important. And then so you're just left with your dirty Alkanox solution. It's probably warm instead of hot at this point, and your washing and collecting equipment, right? And you have very clean bags. So you're going to empty the water to drain, right? If you have a septic system, sometimes you might want to try to maybe pump this outside or something, because the Alkanox solution is great at removing ATP from surfaces, which means it kills all living organisms, which means it will kill the bacteria in your septic and can fuck that up a little bit. So just be careful on that. Either which way, you're going to pump that to drain, or pump that to waste in some way, shape, or form. However you feel comfortable getting rid of that water. And then after that, you're going to spray down the equipment really, really fucking well while it's going to drain, because you want to rinse off all of the Alkanox solution completely. You want to make sure that there's no more detergent left. If you're in a professional facility, or even if you're not, you can get detergent wipes, and you can just give your equipment a wipe to make sure that you got it, and make sure that your cleaning SOPs are removing all of the detergent before you go and start using your equipment again. I believe that they're relatively inexpensive. So Anyways, after you have completely sprayed out all of the detergent and everything like that, I like to take a lint-free rag of some sort. Those blue ones that they sell in like automotive shops work pretty well. Uh, but just make sure that's a lint-free style. And you're going to use ethanol, and you're going to wipe down the inside of your stainless equipment, because even after all of that, there's usually just a little bit of heads that you can feel, maybe right where the water line was or something like that, and you'll see that come off onto your rag. So and then I just give it one more rinse down to drain. You don't have to be so excessive because the alcohol is just going to evaporate off. And it should be completely clean equipment at that point. So, yeah, that's your like end of the day. Everything is fucking completely done. If I'm cleaning in between washes, I just remove all of the material, and I do the 25U bag on recirculate thing with the cold water. Because I maintain my ice for the next round and stuff like that. So I drain all of my dirty water. I put the 25U bag on there for filtration, just in case any material is caught in the pumps, or there's, I also don't want those small heads that it collect, because I just run the 45U bag. I don't want them, if there's any that didn't get drained out from me draining all of the water on the previous one, like they might have just been hanging out a little bit on the bottom of the collection vessel or somewhere within the mixing vessel. I want to make sure that I get those out before I start collecting the next round. And then after just recirculating it for a little bit, hopefully you have ice filtration somewhere in your system, so that way you're pre-chilling your equipment. And you should be doing that with completely clean water. I generally still will drain to waste and then fill the first fill with water from a source that hasn't been recirculated. Yeah, I think that's everything.